students. Welcome to another session to learn a new lesson. So far, you have learned about the characteristics, habitats, and adaptations, diversity, and classification of animals. In this video, you will explore what do animals eat, how do they search for food, and how they eat it. Join me in this session to discover in detail the lesson on what do animals eat from class 6th Science. Learning outcomes. After studying this topic, you will be able to understand how animals search and track food. Learn about how animals collect their food. Explore how ruminants eat. Examine how birds eat. Discover the methods using by hunting animals. Understand food chains. Learn about food collection by ant colonies. Keywords: food chain, sucking, picking, chewing, scavengers, rumination, nocturnal. Let's see the concept map on what do animals eat and animals' eating habits. Do you have a pet dog? What does your pet eat? Have you ever seen a dog using its sense of smell to catch a biscuit even when it's still in the air? All animals depend on different types of food. Herbivores eat only plants or grass. Carnivores eat other animals. Animals that eat both plants and animals are called omnivores. Search for food. Plants and animals are the primary sources of food in our environment. Like humans, animals also rely on these sources. Each animal has its own method of obtaining food. They may track, collect, grab, or hunt for their food, and then use various techniques to bring it to their mouth. Tracking down food. Most animals consume food that is regularly available. However, they must locate it first. To do this, They use a wide range of senses such as smell, sight, hearing, taste, and touch. Some animals rely on more than one sense, which can be highly developed in them. Dogs have a strong sense of smell and grab food quickly. Similarly, eagles and hawks, while flying high in the sky, can sense and catch food on the ground, demonstrating their strong eyesight. Vultures also rely on their vision. Bats depend more on their hearing, while some reptiles identify food by tasting it. The pond skater is an insect that feeds on other insects. It detects ripples produced in the water by insects trapped on the surface. By comparing the ripples on the opposite side of the pond, which are caused by the struggling insect's legs, the pond skater calculates the distance and moves in order to capture its prey. Collecting food. Finding food is one thing, but collecting or capturing it is another task. Animals have specialized body parts, such as mouth parts, hands, or feet that help them collect their food most efficiently. We might observe that the same body part can be used in different ways by different animals. For example, a tongue may be used differently by a dog compared to a frog. The dog uses its tongue to lick, while the frog uses its tongue to capture and swallow food. Additionally, different animals may use different body parts to consume the same type of food. Here is an example. Hens use their beaks to pick insects, while frogs use their tongues for the same purpose. Within similar groups of animals, the same body part can be used in various ways. For example, the beaks of different bird species are adapted to eat different types of food. The type of food an animal consumes and the method it uses to collect it define the animal's food habits. Bird beak shapes vary with their diet and also help in identifying different bird species. For example, woodpeckers have long, strong beaks that help them remove layers of bark to access ants and pests underneath. Cranes have long beaks adapted for catching fish in water. While eagles have strong, hooked beaks for tearing flesh from prey. The parrot, which eats fruits and cracks nuts, has a hooked beak, whereas the crow does not. In addition to the beak, other body parts are adapted to suit the type of food a bird eats. For example, eagles need sharp claws and strong hooked beaks to tear flesh. While hummingbirds, which suck nectar, require long, thin beaks and do not need sharp claws. Crows that live in our surroundings often eat waste, rotten food, and dead animals, helping to keep the environment clean. Due to this, they are called as natural scavengers. It is interesting to watch a frog catch its food. The frog extends its sticky tongue towards an insect, which sticks to the tongue. The frog then pulls the insect into its mouth and swallows it. Many animals, like cows, depend on plants for food and are classified as herbivores. Herbivores such as cows, goats, buffaloes, sheep, giraffes, camels, elephants, and deer eat green or dry grass, leaves, and branches. Animals like cows, buffaloes, and camels chew their food quickly, swallow it, and store it in a part of their stomach. Later, they regurgitate the food back into their mouths to chew it again. This process is known as rumination. The larva of a crane fly eats a lot. But as an adult, the crane fly no longer needs to eat. Dogs use the sharp teeth and tongues to eat. And wild animals like lions, foxes, wolves, and tigers also have sharp teeth. Hunting animals have strong legs for running, sharp claws for catching prey, and sharp teeth for tearing flesh. In contrast, rabbits and squirrels use their teeth to eat seeds, tubers, and leaves. Ducks have teeth, but unlike the teeth of cows or lions. Duck teeth are not used for chewing. Instead, they act as filters to help the duck pick food from the water. Fishes also have teeth, used for the same purpose as that of ducks. How do leeches get their food? When walking along the banks of ponds, canals, and similar areas, we might observe leeches, snails, earthworms, and other creatures. Leeches are well known in rural areas, where they are sometimes found on the skin of animals. Leeches attach to the skin using specialized structures called suckers and feed by sucking blood from cattle and humans. Food chain. In nature, there is a delicate balance among plants and animals based on their food habits. For example, in a pond ecosystem, eggs and larvae are eaten by fish and frogs, which in turn become food for cranes. Food chains are not always linear. They can be interconnected and branched, forming a complex network known as a food web. Many animals live in colonies, ranging from massive elephants to tiny ants. The fascinating world of ants. Ants are remarkable creatures with complex social structures. In an ant colony, there are various rules, including workers, soldiers, females, and males. Worker ants are responsible for gathering and storing food, as well as performing other essential tasks. Some ant species cultivate aphids, small insects that produce honeydew. Additionally, ants practice advanced farming techniques. They cut leaves into pieces to create beds, where they grow fungus and consume as food. Points to remember. Different animals in our surroundings have varied food habits. Animals use various methods to consume food, including sucking, licking, and picking, chewing, and swallowing. The beaks of birds vary depending on the type of food. Wild animals that prey on others typically have sharp teeth, strong legs, and sharp claws. Animals are classified into 3 types based on their diet: herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. The food chain illustrates the connection between animals based on their food habits. The food chain demonstrates the interdependence of different organisms in nature.